we were talking about the silence, that sometimes it's nice to have it, so I had to break it. Thank you very much. And we would like to start the beautiful, hopefully, debate that is titled Too Much World, and is hosted by Kino Mural Festival. Thank you for being such a great host. And we are here in Akademii Sztuk Pięknych, aka ASP, in Wrocław. And I'm honored to present the really international group of great artists that are here with me and us tonight. Starting from my left, Boris Labbé, French artist, video artist, VR artist, and a great artist of a drawing too. Big applause. Jeremy Couillard, USA, but temporarily Germany. The painter, the indie game designer, and whole lot of our other genre of art creator. Big applause. Kathrin Hunze, am I pronouncing it well? Hopefully well. German artist, researcher, which is fascinating too. Art researcher based in Berlin, and the artist that brings a lot of, in my opinion, joy, creativity, and humor to art, which is so necessary. Last but not least, Marcin Pośpiech, aka Reinfected Me, Polish artist, raised here in Academy of Art in Wrocław, which is a fact. The illustrator, the visual artist that collaborates with many other artists like Lady Gaga, 9 Inch Nails, sorry for my pronunciation, and Tool, which makes me feel a bit starstruck. Big applause.
Thank you.
And my name is Alek Hudzik, and I'm editor-in-chief of Mint, and I'm host of tonight's conversation. And so then let's begin. Let's begin with the topic that fascinates me, too much world. World is a complex thing that has its origins and its foundations somewhere. And thinking of you as a really diverse group of artists, I was thinking about your own foundation, artistic foundation. Your art stems from so many different places that for the sake of this conversation, our common understanding, I would like to start not from your own practice, but something that was before. That is artists, no matter what genre it is, that inspired you to be who you are. You all have to answer it, so you know.
You mean before study art, for example, or
that really made an impact on you. If it's before, it can be before. It can also be during the time of your work.
I mean, I had a teacher when I was in school, art school, and he always said, like, think back to what things you thought were beautiful before people told you were beautiful. And I really like that, and I repeat this all the time, so sorry. But I guess for me, one of the first things I thought was beautiful before I knew really what art was Super Mario Brothers. So, yeah. I guess I would just, so Miyamoto is the guy that made that. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't consider himself an artist either, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I guess I would say that for my answer. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask one more question to that? Like, did it make you feel like something that is somehow artistically appealing? Like, because I don't know how about you, I experienced Mario Brothers as something that I was abusing the whole night through.
Yeah.
But I never thought about it as like a piece of art. Is it something like that for you?
I guess I thought of it as a world. I don't know. I didn't know what art was. I was 7 years old when it came out, or when I had it, you know. I was 7 years old, so I didn't even have a definition for what that was. I just thought of it as like, this is some weird world I can like enter and explore, and that's it, really. I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Who's next?
I grew up in the countryside, close to mountain, and I think in a way our experience in the world, in the real world, and what's your story, your own story, of course, is going inside. Have some roots that is going inside your mentality, your personality, and of course your art. So, for example, my art practice used to be related to the vegetal world, also the minerals, the animals, the organic, probably because of that, no? Because I grew up in a place with forest close to me, etc. No? So arts maybe don't need art to start, no? But just to be there and to experience reality, and of course every children experience the drawing really early in their life. So we start of course I'm a drawer, so I start really early to try to represent what is around me, and not only represent, because it's also about artistic process, like a line. If it's trembling line or if it's a straight line, it's not the same. So probably that, like, it's very commonplace, but
also very tangible place, I think. Very different from maybe what we're gonna talk about, but maybe actually very similar in a way. It's a world within itself. You have some figures or some sparks that made you like feel that something important emerged in your life in an artistic way?
No, I just wanted to say something, but so at the beginning I was thinking about Warhol because it was the person I just took the spot when I was studying here. But then if we go this route, I was thinking more like a film director, so Darren Aronofsky, Pi, they just slapped me in the face. It's all this kind of like art that, you have to be just connected to this somehow. And unfortunately, for many artists, not except me included, it's like, some kind of like, I don't want to call it mental problems, but some kind of, looking for yourself and struggle with some things that happen in your life. And that was the start for me. And the same with David Lynch, obviously. That's something that, was talking to me straight away. I didn't understand it. Some of this movie, I don't get it. I don't get the plot, but it's just talking to me. And I'm just, following this kind of like a weird dream.
Wow. Thank you for this answer. If you have an answer, yes, but don't feel pushed. It's like art academy where you teach, no pushing.
No.
I don't have to say anything.
You don't.
Good.
Okay.
No, I'm just thinking about this, where you get inspired by your working. So this was the first question, maybe. So, and I think sometimes I'm not really looking to other artists sometimes. And of course I do that much more later doing the work. And I'm getting inspired by stupidity in life situations. What are you experiencing? And this bring that to life again in your work. It's much more fun than studying the old works. But I was currently, the name what I have now in my mind is Hieronymus Bosch. The old paintings, very fun. If you look, it's called in German, the English is the Ship of Fool, or the Narrenschiff in German. Very exciting story about the whole. There's a nice documentary on Arte. And this is how you get. I get inspired sometimes.
It's amazing example that really connects and resonates with the title of a discussion, Too Much World. there is a lot of world within Hieronymus Bosch, but I had an idea that is really close for the like an opening question, because I'm trying to really think about world as it is, and you used the very interesting phrase that you watched or saw Warhol or Lynch and you didn't understand it. Like how it is for you as artists, scholars, researchers, humans, how professionals, teachers, the idea of understanding art is understanding a principle for art or not? How do you feel like, how do you connect to art? By understanding or by some other process that is not necessarily an intellectual one? What do you call art? Everything that everything is human-based, human-made, and maybe it's open more to bigger than just museums, but actually games can be art too, and like many different activities that has not defined purpose as something that is only for some one purpose of usage.
I don't know. I think for my side, with art, where I try to, or with drawing, I try to understand the word or an idea or an artist or something, a subject, no, something. But in a way, I think it's better to don't understand too much what we are talking about and what we are making also. Because I will not like to do like only like trying to illustrate a concept or an idea or etc. But yeah, more playing with energy. No, something is not so clear what could be this. For example, talking about colors. For example, this is not. You can do a theory of color, but you can also experiment it directly. No, and this is like more something that is very personal and is very sensitive. And I for my work I try to keep this, no, not be only a mental and rational person, but also not only emotional, but also like maybe trying to create with my body. I don't know, my feelings. No? So we don't need to understand. I think David Lynch was saying that the word is not really understandable. So why we ask to filmmaker to make understandable films?
I think too, like Boris, you and I were walking around today, and we were talking about like getting older and like being art professionals or whatever. And you were like, "Oh, it's hard to be surprised as you get older." So I think that's all I look for, is I just want to be surprised by something. Because you just see so many shows year after year. And like once I left the big city I was living in, it's like I started to see things kind of repeat again, you know, like, oh, I saw this exact thing like 10 years ago.
But the problem is you still keep looking. You won't find anything, but you keep digging and digging and digging.
Is it a problem or is it some sort of a hope?
Yeah,
it's just like exploring more than understanding.
Do you have like a method not to get bored or not to
just keep looking for stuff until you know, of course there's always a few things that you find that excite you. That's how you keep going. But, yeah.
So how about your feeling of like understanding and like...
Come on, teacher.
I think interesting is also for me, when I'm working or I see other works, is the process is really interesting. How busy they must be if they did this kind of work, and also, that's really exciting to see the process. That's also, you see that more when you're teaching, but if you see also other friends, they're working, showing sometimes you have the honor to look into their process, then that's really exciting. So, because sometimes the people are telling you, I'm doing that, and you said, okay. So, but then you see what the research is, and then you see the experiments and all the stuff, then it's getting really exciting because you see how the people or the artists are thinking. And that's really interesting. And and of course this boreness, that's a big problem. But sometimes you have to start with thinking, when he did it or she did it, and then looking which age, which step of art. Sometimes this happens. There are many artists that are doing the same, especially in AV, animation, point cloud, 3D scanning stuff. You see a lot of same
patterns.
You say that?
Patterns.
Okay. So it's always, you're thinking it's always the same, but then you have to look into the concepts. So then you can find something interesting, maybe.
But I think it's different for a teacher, right? Because your goal, your objective is to kind of understand what your pupils are doing, right?
Understanding or just follow up?
I think for a teacher, it should be understandable, right?
Because like the work that students are making should be understandable?
No.
Sometimes it's not everything is understandable. So even I do things I have no explanation for some things in some.
But you're saying this researching, you're looking how the researching going and everything. So you just observing how it's going. For me, for example, I'm not a teacher. I'm just looking and I feel it or I don't feel it, right? So I'm not trying to understand why this person did this way. I'm just taking it all. It's a different perspective, right?
It's a different.
I guess teaching, I'm also trying to help students like contextualize what they're doing. Like, where does this fit in? I don't need to understand it necessarily, or I don't have to like it, but I just want you to be able to articulate where you fit in and like the context of a wider art world or something.
Yeah, but for you teachers, it's a little bit different. I still have to say it. It's like you don't need to like it, but you should understand it. So, for example, this is not your cup of tea, but I understand why you did it, and I think this is the right way, or whatever.
And also, you have to understand, or not understand, but follow the personality of people, because you will start to learn from young people, young future artists maybe, and all personality of all stories are important for people like us, like creative persons. No? So it's interesting to follow that when you're a teacher. You can understand why this person is making this film or this piece, because you saw like a line of evolution and some personalities and some personal stories they give us.
Thank you for these answers. And you already said that you don't have to understand. You actually explained that you don't understand something that inspired you. But I would rather now wanted to shift to more of your practices that are very, as I said, diverse. They are somehow linked by the word new media, which for me is as much eye-opening as also baffling, that I would like to answer about something that kind of stems from the game I recently saw, because I didn't play it, unfortunately, and it's your game. It's called Escaping Lavender Island. Yes?
Escape from,
yes. I think Americans talk recently a lot about islands and escaping, not in a new media context, but yes. No, and so I will tell you about, like, as a critic of my own experience, or just watching, not playing the game. And for me, that was quite fascinating, that for art historian, the definition of media is very linked to the canvas, to the background, to what you kind of use for your work to be visible at. And I feel like for all of you, canvas, it's a proverbial, canvas is something very different. I see your works as a background or a part of a huge stage shows. your works as something that is between the gallery and like audience in a very, very gallery, not gallery way. Your artworks that are presented on movie festivals, but also like in a VR sections that is a little like new to the movie festivals, and you like that you make exhibitions but also games. I would like to talk about this proverbial canvas for you. Like, what really is this background layer for your work that you use? Is it defined? Is it something that you constantly think of? You're finding new opportunities to do something on sort of a new surfaces.
Maybe this could be follows the discussion with the boring. We are boring about. Sometimes I'm boring about my own work. So because you are working, and after that you get a bit I don't know stuck maybe or something.
Stuck, yes.
And so you need to explore something new, to create something new for yourself also. And for my practice, I try to be like an equilibrist. No, you go from the cinema to the exhibition, and after you try something in VR, but and etc. And also you can experiment, and you can. It's interesting in a professional way because you explore like more opportunities because you can meet a creator but also a producer, I don't know, and you also meet more public. In my side, I start the first year I was working as a professional artist. People know me for my animation film, my movies, but after that I have this need to maybe encounter new people that could have new ideas, a new way to see my own work, and it's good for me. It's like a mirror, you know. When you meet somebody you never met before, and you have another kind of taste of art. No, it's interesting. So, yeah, and everything now it's really close, like media art, cinema, contemporary art, comics,
stage productions, the theatrical productions that are so. I will ask you how you feel about the word immersive because it's somehow often overused, but that's not for now. But you're totally right. I was even thinking about it. Your works that yes, they are presented as if you're in a certain environment, and then if I could only experience them through my little digital screen, and I feel like it really takes a lot from the experience that is so much intertwined with the work. That was also what I'm thinking about, like how this thing is important for you. This what makes it real experience or a curated experience. So how it is for you? Maybe I will ask you because you present some of your works at least on the big stages that you have probably limited control over what is the final piece, but maybe not. So it is interesting.
It wasn't my goal just to make animations for bands and just to show it on the big screens. It was coincidence. But if people feel it's right and they like it, so I just do it. But to be honest with you, for me, it's like creating experiments and that's why at the beginning you were introducing me. I'm not feeling like an artist. I'm not an artist at all. So my excuse, for example, for creating my experiments, it's because I do a lot of them, make a lot of them, and I don't have this kind of like a pressure that, okay, this is the final piece and it has to be this way. I just do it. I'm just like creating a noise. Never-ending noise, and that's how it is. And there were a few people just came to me, say, "Oh, this will look cool on the big screen. Let's try to do it." And
but noise is a very sound. I think that's, for my understanding, is not quite a music-related word.
I'm not talking about the noise like a dot.
Yes,
noise
yes.
like it's not art, it's noise. It's something you don't need.
It's kind of a anarchy.
We all do noise, make noise, kind of the thing. That's how I see right now. New media is like we were given tools. We don't control these tools. We were given this kind of like playground where we can play. But everything what we do, it's because of someone else created software, created computer, creating this and that. If they cut us off of this, we are nobodies. We just don't do this anymore. I know in your example, you have a little bit different kind of the thing, and I admire paintings and doing this kind of things. I really miss the days in the school. So guys, if you can do it here, like keep doing, just follow your dreams, and because then you will have a job and people will ask you to do this or that. And it's like, no, this is, and you need to earn money, and this is boring. Express
true.
yourself here. Let's do it, guys.
It's true to experiment a lot during the studies. That's the most important thing, because later, if you go in the job or teaching full time or something like this, you don't have the time anymore to do it so much. You need stipendia, something like this, fundings to get the time for experiments. So, or you do it in between somewhere. So it depends on how you develop yourself. If you do more installations, and this is what I'm doing, bring it into different kind of formats. I were invited to an exhibition to show my big screen works, what I'm normally performing, into a mobile phone. So it was really good working because the topic was good. It fits well, and I never saw that before. So it's nice to have this from big to very small. And the stupid, everyone is looking, brain rotting themselves.
Can you tell us a bit more about this work that was?
Was the happy meshes. So this was a question actually, are you a happy mesh? So questioning our world between looking into the screen and with all the apps what we are having there, and then everything what's happening outside, and we are in this friendly, everything is so colorful and sparkling and nice, lancy surfaces and shimmering and wow, beautiful. And then you look outside, there's war and so on, you know what I mean. So that was the contrast. So asking, are you really a happy mesh? So maybe second series starting now. So really.
Well, it's a good question that we all can ask ourselves on a daily basis, even here. No, you brought another thing that I really wanted to talk about. Maybe because of like my personal lack of a technical education, really learning or the history of art really cuts you off from new media. If we scratch the surface of 21st century, it's gonna be those two painters that make it to the 21st century. So for me, somehow a curiosity of the technology can be a lot because I don't really understand it, and I was never taught about it. And what you said about being like nobody, if they cut you off from the technology, I'm really curious if this changing the technology that probably changed so many times since you started your practice is an important factor. That works that you made 20, 15 or 10 years ago are no longer working, no longer whatever, or they're just having their own kind of varnish, digital varnish. Is it a thing for you, or is it something that really, I don't know, you want to show your work accidentally it's on some sort of a stick that no longer can be applied to any kind of a laptop?
I keep the laptops. I have them all.
Really?
Yes. I keep
DVDs
them.
too.
What?
DVDs.
Yeah.
Oh wow! That's the archivist, the scholar, and the archivist. Yes, that's.
This is something we were talking about earlier. It's like I think it's about the process. It's not the final product. For me, exciting is the process. Then I just have it done. So for example, like this event, the whole process to getting here, just to meet people, you know, the new people, talk a little bit. We had lunch. That's perfect. And right now, it's like a final thing. And with creating art is art or whatever you create, the preparation and I don't want to use the word understanding, but the feeling where you want to go is the key. I don't remember a lot of my stuff I created in this school, but I know I was really like each time focused on what I was doing. Maybe not all subject, but something I was interested. So for me, if it's gone, it's gone. I don't care. I just move forward.
And you're not you're not sticking into certain kind of technologies that you used or use, and you don't care.
No, I don't think so. It's like exploring new possibilities.
Okay.
That's the most important for me.
I think for me, when like NFTs and stuff came out,
we're opening.
I was like, technology is dead to me. Like it stopped at video games. Like that's when it ended. And so I made like a conscientious decision to like not learn any new technologies. And I hope video games seem like a foundational enough thing. They've been around since like the 70s. So I hope that medium can be like solid enough, as much as like film was last century, that it'll stay around and we'll be able to preserve old games. So far, that's been working out okay. Like I can play old games still, you know, from 20 years ago.
For somebody for me, who only could play FIFA barely, and maybe watch my brother playing some games, creating games is also a process that really changed over the time for you, or like you can, or if you want to create certain kind of indie games, even open world games, you can still use more or less the same methods that you used like 15 or 20 years ago.
Pretty close, yeah. There's now engines for like Nintendo 3DS, which was like a handheld thing from like, I don't know when, 20 years ago or something. And people are still making games for it. But, But yeah, also I really like that you watched my game instead of played it. Like I think that's really important, that like these things can exist in other ways. So that's another way of preserving them. So that's cool.
So it's also a way of experiencing like your game. That you kind of
like conscientiously aware of that like people will play it online and it will be like documented that way too. And I really like that.
And I feel like a world of the VR is so much rapidly changing.
It's a bit different because of course also VR, it's also like a medium, not really new medium, because I'm not really a historian of VR, but I think it's existing since many years. But for example, the company, the Meta with the Oculus, if one day they decide to just shut down everything and nothing will be playable again. So, for example, I made this project, Itomeku, like it was a big project. I worked maybe 2 years on it. And I'm not sure if in 10 years it will be still possible to do it, to experience it. So I should also to do like a recording, video recording, to have like a trace, memory of that, no? So it can be, and for my side, I think probably more than half of I will make in my life will disappear, you know? I don't think we will keep everything. We saw many things in the past, many filmmakers, we lost a lot of films of them, and for the digital will be the same for our generation, I think, because the cloud is big, but maybe we will produce more and more and more, the AI will produce more and more, and so it will be like so big that it will be, I don't think it will be possible to keep everything.
That's true.
So let's keep the good ones. And,
too much world. The essence
for me, it's okay if I will work until my death. I don't know, but if I can keep 30% of my work, it will be like good news, but probably more that will disappear,
That's I can relate to that. I was thinking that if I'm a writer, with the digital, media, my articles will be always there, and I kind of cannot find most of them already.
But for example, for people that are dancers, the dancing, you do it now and after. If you don't do a video, it's disappearing. So there is many arts are disappearing now. You do it and that's it. No? So of course we try to keep our computer, our disk, everything, but one day maybe some of them will disappear.
I would love to see the stock of the computer laptops that's somewhere there.
Yeah, an old iMac, really old one.
I heard that you have to use them once or twice a year just to make them. Yes, you do that. No, that's what I heard. It's a ritual of the spring,
The thing is also to get the stuff back. So if you want to buy something, sometimes you have luck and you found an old MacBook or something where you can play that, but then you have to pay. It depends on the times. Sometimes someone decides, now you have to pay more for this MacBook, so because it's old, blah, 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 something like this. And what I hear so far and this is what I'm thinking about also new technology, it's nice to have them and nice that we can expand our works now so much. I'm also working with VR, and it's really shitty with Meta have the power to shut down everything. It's the same with other companies like Mozilla Hubs. Maybe you remember everyone was working during Corona in Mozilla Hubs. Maybe I taught in Mozilla Hubs, and it was really fun to do that because the students were, I totally understand that, bored about the screening lessons. So I go with them into the virtual reality. But after the COVID time, Mozilla decided to shut down. And you have to record everything that you can show that I was teaching there and so on. So, and doing all the changes also with this technology for 3D scanning, what you can do now, I did this with photo by photo by photo without any app. So, and I have more control about that because I don't want to depend on technology. That's the most, you can work with technology, but never make yourself depending on technology because there are more companies behind there. They can decide if they want to give you the technology.
Applause.
Yeah? Something like this. Yes. So, and that's a big problem what we have. And I decided, okay, I experiment with them. And I want to know, I found VR very interesting, and especially the mixed reality thing. It's more interesting now. It's really fun. So what you can do with things with that. So, and but not depending on new technology.
There's a lot of things that stems for what you said. And maybe it is my peripheral perspective. I feel like, especially here where I live in Poland, if we have too much of one thing, especially in the art world, is paintings, and there is a lot of business around it, but also a lot of institutional support that we know because museums work that way. They collect artworks like paintings since at least 500-600 years. And I was really curious about both, like gallery, museum, and art market. As I think, like it is mostly the questions for you two, like how it is where you live is doing this kind of new media work, a thing that is somehow consumed by the market, or it's completely like taken away from both museums and art market, or there is a support, both technological and economical, for a new media projects.
I feel, I mean, I just moved to Europe, and I feel like there's a lot more support for that stuff here, for sure. Like, I think I've done more new media stuff here than I did in the States, just because there's, you know, state support for it. That's non-existent completely in the States. It all is driven by market, so you have to make sellable work to have an art show, really, I guess, most of the time, not always, but yeah.
But that you can commodify things.
So in the States, I would like do a show and have a video game and like put it on a weird computer that's like a sculpture, and then the gallery would like sell it as editions.
Okay.
So that was a thing there. I think here that would like never be a thing, as far as I know. I don't know, but yeah. So that's an interesting like cultural shift for me, for sure. Yeah.
Because there is not so much collectors that are able to buy digital or new media. Maybe in Europe there is less than in the US. No? Maybe for that reason.
How it is for you? It can be a sad truth.
Sorry, forgot the microphone.
Just don't touch. Yeah. The other things are fine, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It was a big thing maybe through this NFT thing. It was a big pop-up. But for me also was the time, okay, no, I'm stopped now. So now I'm not interested. I'm not learning all the stuff. I have no time for this. And also the whole scam, and it was very nice to see how the society in the art world changed. It was very funny to read Twitter in this time.
You have people from your community. I think I have a couple from mine that had a huge careers on Instagram, and they disappeared somewhere in Dubai or so.
Yeah. And this dreamy island where the video and
the brave monkeys, the brave birds, the brave monkeys.
It's stupidity. So it was media art in itself. It's produced media art in itself. If you see that as a whole story, could be. Yeah, so, but I collected a lot. I made a lot of screenshots in that time because it was very interesting how people interact in between us and stop themselves to talk the truth about scamming and all this stuff. It was very interesting to see in between the lines. But with marketing and all that, I have a nice gallerist now, and he said in the beginning to me, you will not make any money. And I said, okay, thank you. So, nice to be there. So, but he was true. So it's not the thing that I go to the gallery, and he's also another art concept. Of course, selling artwork, but what you can do out of your artwork for me is prints, something like this. Now I have the Happy Mesh calendar. You can't use this calendar. It's too dark. And about dark futures. So, thinking about products, what you can do. So there are many very good artists outside. They produce something what you really can sell. So,
but you can buy your calendar? Can I buy this calendar?
Yeah, you can buy my calendar.
Even in February? Will it still not show me that?
It's an AR calendar, so you can buy that online in my web shop.
We're gonna sell.
I give you a special price.
No, but it's of course we're joking, but it's actually very related to what we're talking about, being also critical to the medium as itself, like using a calendar as a medium or some sort of different message is very critical, and it's an interesting strategy for me as you were explaining it. So it is.
Yeah, you have to think in media art to sell something. If you have to think about. So, and there are many artists that have many funny. There's one website, they make the internet shop, something like this. Did you know that? Where you can buy scarves with this Windows Paint thing on it. So it's really fun. So fun ideas what the people are giving as presents for Christmas time, something like this.
Did you see prices? They are crazy.
Yeah, something like this. So this is maybe the area, not just the art prints itself.
Yes.
This goes in the direction
of merchandising, yes?
Yeah, something merchandise, but special like you have only a few of them, something like this.
Yes, but there is the second part of the question that is like also the institutions as museums. If they buy things, they usually protect it in a way that they're gonna preserve it. They're gonna work on it to be visible or at least watchable or experienceable for some time.
How can you get to these places, to these people who just,
To museums?
Yeah, for curators, for example. So, just...
Is it an open question?
It's an open question, yeah. Because
okay.
I tried recently. I just had this kind of like small kind of like a campaign. I just came up with this crazy idea just to send 130 little cards to the most famous people in fashion and, just to do something crazy with the code. It was like a mind game. Nobody replied. I spent a lot of money, but it was an experiment. But I wanted to find out, how can you get to this level? Like someone someday say like, this is it. This is something, worth putting time and effort and, just money in. And just do you need to, are you becoming an artist like this kind of big, like step by step, or it just happens, bang, and you meet someone who is just, in power to make you this kind of an artist?
I don't know how it is.
Is it open question?
I don't know how it is in here, but in Germany it's totally different. And I'm also not the expert. No one bought anything from me from this high.
But you sell calendars, right?
Yeah, they.
Not to the curators.
Yeah, so there's two answers. So there's one thing, there are different kind of governments, and this in between they have this kind of archives or collectives stuff, and then they have, it's combined with art prizes, something like this. What I heard so far or read about that, and I never been in this kind of. I forgot to apply for art prizes, so I'm too lazy for that. But then the other part is to have this kind of what we had as from the Media Art Association in Berlin. They have this kind of package with a lot of artworks, and they are with NFC, so you can. There's a tablet inside. It's a box, an art box, and there are many works inside, and you can get them through the tablet with an NFC coin, something like this. And then they sell that with the gallery and institutions. Yeah.
I think listening to what you said, like there is a question that rises from it, that is, you feel like your voice is being heard in certain kind of, I don't want to use the word coteries, but groups than others. Like, for instance, that is the art world defined by the big institutions interested in what, maybe not personally what you do, but people like you that use that you're from your group, from your peer group, from your academy that you feel connected to, that the art world is interested. And it's the same questions with them also, not only the art world, but I think like the movie industry, which is the world itself with different kind of strategies, different kind of hierarchies and different kind of budgets. I feel like, that would be that. Of course, it's gonna be only your personal perspective, but I wonder how it is for you.
I think it's for media artists and maybe also for filmmakers, it's really hard to get inside the collection of big collection of museums.
It's hard.
So it's hard. I don't know. I don't have so much example of people who have a piece in MoMA. Or I don't know. You know? But for example, for my side, as I was now for animation filmmaking, I didn't sell my work, but I give an installation to the Cinémathèque Québécoise in Montreal. So I give them, and they just collect it. It's in French, it's like a dépôt. You give it, And I know.
And they lose it then.
No, they can lose, but normally they put a number and they have it in a place, no, in a disk, external disk maybe, or in a cloud. I don't know. And for an artist as me, it's like, okay, I don't make any money, but I give a piece to a main institution, and probably in 2,000 years, maybe it could be there again. Maybe. But and I have few other, I also give some drawing to the French Cinematheque. This year, maybe there is a museum also in Annecy, because there is an Annecy festival. It's important for animation that could be interested. But it's also really, for me, it's like a niche. I am in the niche of animation, and I have the name in this kind of, in this medium of animation, and people from the institution start to ask me, could we have some drawing of you? Could you have a piece of this animation, maybe, etc. But for me, it never been something about so much money, but more about try to keep this work for maybe the next generation, you know?
Yeah, I guess for me, it's always just about relationships and just cultivating relationships. And again, like being able to contextualize what you do and just developing relationships over like many, many years. So like a lot of the bigger things that have happened in my life were from people I've been in conversation with for like a decade or something. You know, it takes a very long time. It's sometimes a bit like dating. Like you want to vibe with the people, like people want to work with.
But you know, artists, they are lonely people, you know.
What's that?
They don't want to artists, they are lonely people.
I think artists are not lonely people.
Yeah.
I think actually we're some of the most social people, unfortunately, for better or worse. It's hard. And I mean, now I'm old and like it's getting more and more tiring to keep that up. But like, it's just, you can't, like, you just have to keep I mean, like we're here because of Peter Burr, right? Like, not because we just like randomly emailed you guys, you know. Yeah. And Peter's someone I've known since, I don't know, 2011 or something.
But there is, I feel like, different art genres or techniques that kind of gives you a bit of a handicap in certain kind of conversations, especially with museums, but maybe it's not the most important. But because I don't want to create with the world full of AI content, I don't want to create another conspiracy theory. But definitely there is. That's my perspective. Watching or being in watching the exhibitions outside of Poland, usually in the Western museums, like the new media as used, like Jordan Wolfson, for instance, are not really that present in the museums in the collections. But maybe that's my personal.
He was in like a biennial and stuff.
He was, yes, but it's like it's this one guy.
It's the one guy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But that's my experience. Maybe it's different. Yeah. Maybe it's different.
I mean, Corey Archangel.
Yes.
Also another. I mean, there's guys. Some of these guys. I don't know.
That's a good question of gender. Yes?
Exactly. I want to say not so many women there.
Yes. Maybe another statement that maybe we should make it more not accessible, but like it's. I guess there is a gap. Yes, you feel it like from your students or the artists that are practicing new media art, that there is the gender gap.
Depends on. Sometimes I feel depends on also in which community you are, or you are as a guest, or depends on which. It's always different. And I can't say, media art is totally gender gap.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, of course, over the years, if you look in the early years, but it depends on if I do audiovisual performance as well, and sometimes this is definitely the hardest area where you have this kind of, I help you now how to make the image on the screen, with the projector, and I know that, so I don't need any explaining for that because I do that quite often. So, and all these little things. So I'm laughing about that, and I make my jokes. But sometimes, if you see, you get less sound checking time than other guys, then I get a bit picky. So something like this, and it's very often now. It's in Berlin. It's getting a huge community with a lot of women, and they doing more audiovisual performances. But there were also a time where less women were there, and this is always. I don't like that. Bring my elbows out. I don't want that. Who's doing that for free? I don't want that. So, and it's really unrelaxing before performing. You want to show your stuff. Yeah. So, but I want to say to Jeremy, it's very important what you said with relationships, to have them, keep them, even if it's hard. Also, this networking is in the beginning of your career as a student after the university, keep the networking. It's so important. So
that's exactly what my wife told me when I let's go there. Maybe we'll find someone and meet someone, you know.
And how do you feel about that?
I was like, I don't know. No. I'm awkward. I don't want to. But yeah, I'm happy.
Yes. Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions, and one of them was maybe in my mind. Was trying to visualize your practice because I had no access to your process, and I feel like being a critic, being a journalist, I experience I don't want to say overstimulation. It's a different question, but like there is accessibility that is huge now. Accessibility of what I can read or what I can watch or what I can go for, whatever, the exhibition or a performance, something. I would ask you if you feel like at this stage of your practice and career, you feel like you have more technology than you need, and you have problem thinking, oh, what kind of thing I gonna test next, or it's not that much of your workshop problem.
What do you mean exactly? If we have more technology?
Like that there is so much technology around you with the probably new I don't want to even start about the AI again, but things, programs, software that really helps you do things that you feel like, oh my God, it's so much that I feel like I want to cut myself off from it.
I think we just sorry. Go.
Sometimes it's as an artist, it's good to test things, to experiment something new. If you have like this feeling, it could be interesting for you. Maybe test it. But for my practice, I cannot use the same kind of artistic process than 10 years ago. You know, I'm not really evolving too much, but as I was saying before, just changing a bit from medium to medium, etc. So evolving in this way. I'm not sure that technology will solve the arts practice, you know. So
of course,
so I think not. So we don't need new tools to do new things, but only sometimes follow the some ideas that can be experimented by maybe new technology, but it's not really important, probably.
Yeah, I remember when I was in school, I saw the artist Shanna Moulton, a really cool video artist. She gave a talk, and she was just like, "Yeah, I have like a cracked Adobe After Effects from like 5 years ago, and I've just been using that nonstop And so I thought that was like really cool. And
maybe some of her work look that way because
and it like informs her work a little, but she worked with it. And as you just use the tools you have, you don't always need new fancy tools.
Of course. I wasn't even thinking about like being like having fancy things. It's rather like that there's so many opportunities to use them that somehow, like if I have to choose between 5 movies, I'm gonna start watching one that I watched already. So yeah, that's sometimes the problem.
But maybe the interesting thing now it's open source softwares. For example, now I use Blender because I don't want to do publicity, but I think it's interesting to give a tool that is free, made by people, and everyone can use it. And there is so much self-learning you can do on the internet. So it's interesting today how the open source software can be used by professionals, but also by students.
Yeah. I think sometimes for me it depends on the concept, what I want to do. The concept is sometimes directing and then I get the idea, how can I do that? I need that. Do we have that outside in the world? So, and then it's defining which kind of technology I need. So with the hand tracking was many years ago, 2017, we have with a leap motion to control something. Now we can do that with Touch Designer, I know, but I like the old version more. So, and, so something like this to find a way, but always look for the concept. If you really need that, there are so many artworks sometimes I see overloaded with new technology, totally overloaded. You don't need that. Sorry, I have this. Don't need that. Don't like that. So, but that's but it is like it, and then you maybe damage everything. You only see technology. New, and then where's the artwork? So tiny bit of them. So it's also thing if you have so much technology and then you see it's not really working because there's so much stuff pushed inside, and then the whole time of working on, I see that sometimes on student works as well, focusing only on the technology, and then in the end where's the artwork part? Getting lost because focusing totally only maybe for how to bring something to work with AI, something like this. Yeah. So, and then the very important part falls down. That's sad. Yeah.
Yeah. The reality is just everybody right now uses the same kind of software, is the same kind of range of programs. I'm a huge fan of digging back to 90s and 80s and to, just refreshing very niche software, kind of the things, the effects that you cannot get in Touch Designer. Everybody asks me, like, how did you do this in Touch Designer? I'm not a Touch Designer. This is not a Touch Designer. So I'm digging and I'm processing and I'm changing. And I don't know, maybe this is like my age, but I'm just going back to my roots. I really, for me today, being here is like, wow, this is something unbelievable. And when I came here, it's like the smell of the paint and all this kind of memories came back. And my friends I didn't see for years. And I'm going back to pencil and piece of paper. Let's do it. Fuck computer.
It's funny. I recently been following a guy who's like showing how to do something like 90s way but like in a digital programs, like some Adobe programs, and it kind of for like Z generation or even younger people, it's like kind of like painting the oil tempera painting, like the ancient method of practicing something that is very crafty, and I like that. Okay, so I feel like we were talking about relations, humans, technology. And I've been privileged to host the 3-episode podcast last year with Kino Mural about new technologies and art, which in each and every episode, I was asking the same question at the end about AI that I want to ask you. First, if you use it, and then if you feel like it's more of your tool or it could be a partner. I know we've been talking about it a little bit, but I want to have it recorded. And it is a question that is for me serious because I was surprised how different answers people and artists and strategies have. So one after another.
Okay.
That's gonna be a choir here. let's sing together.
Okay. Yeah, I tried it obviously, and trying to experiment with this. This is definitely not my tool. I was really curious I was trying to input some completely, weird stuff as a prompt, and most of the time it didn't work out. It was something real. But I had a few times that it was something really amazing and abstract, and it was like, wow, this is something. Obviously, the next day I couldn't reproduce it because AI didn't know what I was talking about. But yeah, that was my experience, and I just left it behind. The only way I use it is just like, writing some stuff. So I just drop my ideas, and the AI just creating the rest. But in terms of the art, no, I don't like it. Thank you.
We have one answer.
I made a kind of big project with AI generative 3 years ago. So it was kind of the beginning of Dolly, and when it was like for public, very high public. And at the beginning, I was half afraid and half excited by the technology, because it was not unbelievable in a way, because I never expected in my life experience that to can just generate things. No? And I talked to some researchers in Toulouse that are also making AI since many years, and they didn't expect that anymore because the power of calcul in that they put like OpenAI, etc., was too strong that in Europe we can do it 3 years ago. No. But as a media or a digital artist, I was thinking it could be interesting to try and to play. It was also kind of funny to play with it. And then at this moment, I have a project that's called that name Glass House, and I would like to create kind of glass architectures, and that is changing and moving. And so in a way, the AI helped me to do that. But it was kind of, I was in the beginning, and in between I was working, we start also to read many things about where are coming from the file, no? There was not really author right respected, as we know now. Sometimes I was generating things and you see some logos or things inside the pictures, was kind of, wow, this does not come from a good place. But my way to work that was to, I generate things, but I need to rework with that. So I start to edit it, I start to animate it, I start to sometimes create animation and put it inside I work with state diffusion, like locally also. So I didn't want to depend of big companies and also to the cloud, for example, no?
Which is hard, no?
You have to think about a bit more than going to the first AI tool in the internet and doing something, because this is probably the more easy, but not for me, my sense, not the good way to experiment that. And I would use again AI like a generative picture in the future. I could be also interested to create my own AI, I don't know. You can give to AI your own work, and you can learn, and you can also
you can
train it. You can train it, and you can also. I think it's interesting how you can play with the machine. But I never think the machine is more intelligent, or I think it's really stupid. And in a way, we can say that some artists say, I have collaborate with the AI. I really don't think you collaborate with AI because AI just don't know what she do. It's like a kind of random noise creating pictures. Maybe in the future it could be different, but yeah. And now I'm making a short thing like with paper, you know. So it's important for me to use. You have tools, you can use it. You have to use it in an intelligent way. But if you haven't made better ideas that could be made by a painting, you know, or just paint on glass or what you want, it's better to do it by your own hand, you know. And I think it's probably the better process will be that, no, to still keep the work by hand, for example, human work. But if sometimes you want to use AI, try to use the AI that you are the most control possible, and now depends so much to big companies that don't have good ideas.
I think I can give a really exaggerated emotional answer.
Yes.
That would be, it's the first thing that's come out that makes me feel glad my life is more than halfway over. And I have a lot of faith in the younger generation that they will destroy data centers.
Oh.
I think they will, right? You guys will.
I mean,
you'll figure it out and you'll bomb them and it'll go.
Yes, maybe I feel like some of this anger comes from this bill that you got for the AI. Tell us.
I did. I tried it out once and then I got a bill from Microsoft for like $600. And that's when I never used it again. But I think it's, because this is called a debate, I will say a little, I don't think it's a tool, right? Like, I don't think it's fair to call like this infrastructure a tool. It's like, it's so much infrastructure, right? It's like huge swaths of data centers taking up like a huge percentage of natural resources from every country that has a data center.
There was
communities.
No tool before that took so much of our resources. But it's but it's interesting.
It's more like it's a system. It's like a feudal system, and we don't own any of it. And I think 4 people own all of it. So I would call it that.
Last but not least.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm using that too, but I'm using that in that case that I'm criticizing that, because I think if you just look at the aesthetics, it looks like IKEA furniture. Everything looks like the same touch. Of course, if you look what it can do, and also the access, everyone can now do some animations and all the lovely things, especially for writing. Everyone has now the opportunity to write a big text or something. Maybe not the good one. So so it has some good things on it, but also really, really bad, because I think all the technology what we get now, it's something from the upper area. Give them something to play and let them make that data. Yeah, so this is how it works. And all this kind of data, all this kind of infrastructure goes to, for example, for the robots. Yeah, the robots are not far away. We have them here, and they're really, really good. And they will work first in the healthcare area, something like this. This is where also the data is needed. All this kind of information is what they get. Also the whole data, what they collecting behind, like Meta and all, they're still collecting, since years they are collecting data. So I found, years ago, I found out what Facebook is doing, how much money is doing Facebook 2014 with your data. Yeah, it's free, but you're paying with your data. We know that. Yeah.
And now it's not even free. And
and now it's way more bigger. So, and I made a word about that, why we don't get money for that. They have to pay us for that, for this amount of, and it's so intransparent. So back to AI. So you see, it's a really big area. So, and I think in one case it is like a tool because I want to downgrade this kind of godness thinking about this AI thing. It's not God. So it's a program doing some funny animation with a more complex behind that. It's funny sometimes. And I use that because it fits to the concept, but it's just a tool. Yeah, and I have still my own stuff. I'm drawing for my textures and all this kind, and I combine that, and it makes more different. So, and I try to do a video, of course. Oh, it's so exhausting. No fun. So it's easier to make a film on your own or a video on your own. It's way more fun. You have more creativity. There is no creativity for me. It's like really like IKEA.
Yes.
So everything looks the same.
That's so true. I tried it a couple of times, once to prepare questions for the interview, but then I lost the interest in talk with somebody that's AI just gave me questions for. And the other one was like that I was trying to, because I write like texts and I'm a rather messy person, so I was trying to make it like to check the grammar style. But then my editors were like, just don't use it. It's too sleek for your articles. Like it's no longer you without mistakes. So maybe that's one thing that really makes us special, our own mistakes. That's really
that's the point. Working with the mistakes, with the not perfectness.
Yes.
So I do that in 3D as well. So I'm totally anti this perfect looking 3D. I'm not interested about the perfect light. I'm not at all interested. So I want the failures. That makes more interesting because in animations, sometimes you have this kind of characters. So much fun to look at these characters if they are not perfectly working, bringing them really to life. And this is because I love that on animation. That's why I love animation since years, since I started with that. So, and I forgot something, what I said, because of my love to animations, but...
No, that's why at the beginning AI was kind of like interesting, because when you put in a prompt, you got some kind of like a very weird thing. Hallucinations thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now you write it and you just have it like straight away, super sharp, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, IKEA thing.
Yeah.
So it's not interesting at all.
Yeah.
But for the teaching, so I was in an interview, was invited into an interview. Can I talk about that? Yeah, I can talk about that.
About who?
An interview for
The university.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they won't fire you, then you can talk about it.
No, no, it's okay. So one thing, because it was interesting, because everyone was the same with the opinion. Okay, it's now there, so we can't hide it. So we have to talk about that with the students and find a way how to handle that mess, what's coming up now in the next years. So talking about that and also see both sides, no? Because there are companies, they want like advertising. If you have design students, the companies are looking for something like this.
Of course.
Yeah. So they want some people, designers, they are good making AI
good prompts.
Sorry, I have to laugh if I say that. But it is like that.
But in a way, the AI itself is not the problem. The problem is the system around it, no? Because AI exists since many years also. And there is a lot of researchers that was making AI projects since 2000, you know. So the problem is not the technology itself. It's why these big companies are taking so much power with it, no?
Sure. Yeah. It's what you said about like feeding the technology with your own content. You can do that, but really it takes time and effort. Our time is kind of getting to an end, and it was a great conversation, but I would like to open it maybe for one or two questions from the audience. If there is a question, you can have a beautiful opportunity for one question. That's the silence.
There's the silence.
Sorry to be so open.
No.
Do you remember in 1974, Voyager 1, there was a little disc which is very, very far right now from our little planet. I'm not sure if it was a good idea, but if now, in 21st century, somebody would ask you that we need for this plate some contemporary art from 21st century, and we need 3 projects from you. I mean, your recommendation can be yours on somebody else, but 21st century new media art. What would you send?
Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Pep the Frog.
I don't know.
So we forgot about him.
That's a great question.
Maybe we just don't need to send anything anywhere. It's no longer, the carbon, whatever you call it, is too high. I think, yes? And you can think about the previous one,
You've been thinking about buying museums which are not buying your artworks, and I was thinking during this that isn't it quite hard to present artworks which are new media in the museums? Because from my experience, it's like when we have on the survival art review some new media artworks, it's quite hard to prepare it, and then usually it's quite hard to perform with them, because usually it's like 1-2 people who can react with them. Obviously, it's not video; it's something more angażujące.
Likes or engaging.
Yeah. So, do you have this problem, this struggle when you try to present your artworks? Is it common? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I have now a little robot running through the gallery, and it's not working. I don't know why. It's a hacked walk-home cleaner with a mask. It's called MaskBot. It's now a MaskBot. And yeah, something is always happening there, and I don't know why. Because I always say, okay, this is normally used as a walk-home cleaner in your home. It's not made for an exhibition running 24/7. Yeah, so that's mostly the point. Also, I open it and try to reduce the sound. So maybe I damaged something. And yeah, you always have this tricky things, and this is technology. So also with VR glasses, there's always, sometimes you don't know why they're working really fine, and then nothing is working anymore. So, and I teach that to be always relaxed with this kind of failures they could happen. So, and that's also for the institutions. They're so afraid about that. I think if they go a bit more further, they have to be more relaxed and find a way. So they need a workshop. I need to do a workshop. Maybe we do a workshop with them.
Or the Museum of Broken Technology.
Yeah, I know. It's always expecting the perfect artwork. Mm-hmm. Everything is working perfectly. But sometimes it's depending on the money, and also what kind of work it is, and how you install that, and what are the circumstances. It's really wet room, and so on. It's really dry. Yeah, and I think the institutions could be a bit more flexible. Some are, not everyone.
There's also a lot of stuff which is prepared to be conservated and so on. To work with it, because it's not easy always to take artists to prepare it.
Yeah. But I understand, like, curators don't want to deal with technology. Like, I get it totally. But I think most of the ones that work with our stuff, they're into it, so they're open to it, and that's always nice, right? And you just test the hell out of it before you show it. So I'll always run it all night and make sure it runs all night. I'll like hit it and smack it and stuff and make sure it works. I usually will write scripts on the computer too. So like if a program crashes, the computer will just shut down. And then I make one button that you turn on and it powers it back up. So I try to make it very like idiot proof, but I don't know.
That's a great answer, great ending for this conversation. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much. Big applause to our guests.
Thank you.
Thank you.